And with a brand new intro comes the, well, same era of this series. Welcome everyone to the Global Trophy 2022. I am joined alongside
Sam Elliott 64, and it is great to be back, isn't it? It's that wonderful time of year, you know? Like, for us at least, you know, it's just before Christmas. Get that nice build up before the festive season. It's good times. It's vibes, as the kids say these days.
Yes, I think we're getting those quote-unquote vibes, because we are recording this very late to the start date.
Yes, literally less than 2 weeks before it's meant to go out, so...
Yeah, it is November the 21st.
Yep.
Probably the latest we've done a Global Trophy, well, at least when it comes to actually recording and uploading them to YouTube, at least.
Yeah, we've done them like later when we haven't been recording them, but this is, you know, for video purposes, this is a nightmare because both of us are very busy people and we both have jobs and we both have lives that we live. Yeah,
exactly.
It's tough.
Having lives, how tough, how difficult.
I know.
But welcome to the 2022 Global Trophy. So, for new watchers of the Global Trophy thinking, what the hell is this? Well, this is a football simulation based off of, well, it's actually played on the PlayStation 1 game Sven-Göran Eriksson World Challenge, made in 2002, so around the time of the 2002 FIFA World Cup. And what makes this game interesting is that you can play as any national team that was around at that point. So it's a game where we can essentially take any national team in the world, put them in a tournament and see which one is best. It's something that we've been doing since, well, I've been doing since 2005, and I believe Sam...
I think my one was 20... See, it's funny because I remember 2013, I think, was the first one I did with Germany winning it. So, yeah, about 8 years for me joining you.
Yeah, and this is the 6th one that we've put on YouTube. So, there we go.
Yeah.
So, how the Global Trophy is run is that there will be 9 weeks of videos, each coming out on the Saturday of that week, with essentially different styles of tournaments, which all 8 of these, I guess, videos will lead into the Global Trophy finals at the end of the series. This includes 4 preliminary leagues and 4 qualifiers. The preliminary leagues will be kicking off first, so might as well go down, or essentially run down, how the rankings work for actually entering the qualifiers and, in this case, the preliminaries. So, we kick off with the first 8 teams. These top 8 teams are the teams that made it to the Global Trophy finals last year. So, if they made it to the finals last year, they immediately get automatically qualified into the qualifiers for their respective continents, whether it be Europe, Asia, Africa, or the Americas. Then, it is the top 16 teams based off of the most recent FIFA rankings, which I believe was October's, at least at the time of when we were recording this.
Yep.
Then, following that, there will be the 16 teams below that. They fight it out in the preliminary league. Top 8 go through to the qualifiers of their respective continents.
And from then it's a straight knockout, right?
Yep, and essentially it's preliminary league, but then once you get to the qualifiers, it's straight knockout until we have 1 team left, and that team are the Global Trophy champions. Netherlands are our current holders after winning the championship back-to-back. They won the 2020 campaign and the 2021 campaign, and they're looking to make it 3 in a row, which has never been done here in the Global Trophy. They're looking to make it 3 in a row here. Well,
in a month or so's time, yeah. I mean, to be fair with the Netherlands as well, it was very rare to actually get a back-to-back winner as well. I mean, the only other team that's done it is Portugal, and they won back-to-back in 2018 and 19. And obviously Holland or the Netherlands have won in 2020 and 21. So it's literally only happened like twice ever in the entire history of the Global Trophy. In you know, this is the 17th competition, so it's very rare. The fact that it's happened twice out of the last 4 years is pretty unprecedented, and both of them were new winners as well. Neither of them had actually won until the one the first time, and then they both did it back to back. It's unbelievable.
Exactly. It's very it's very interesting how things change when it comes to that. But maybe this year we'll see an Asian winner or an African winner. Who knows?
It's unlikely, but they might.
Or maybe another new winner. But anyway, let's kick off with some competitions. The Preliminary League for Europe. So, how this goes, as mentioned previously, it will be 16 teams battling out in a league, 1 leg, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 points for a defeat. The top 8 qualify for the Global Trophy European Qualifiers in a month's time.
It should be noted that in every single competition in this game, there are no... you have to have at least one human player registered. So the way that we're determining the lowest ranked team, or the team that is human ranked or human placed, is the lowest ranked team for the FIFA rankings in the Preliminary League, and it would be the team that finished 8th for the actual European qualifiers or subsequent continent qualifiers. So you've got to basically finish 7th in order to have a fighting chance.
Yeah. So since you do have to have essentially a human control player in this, and wouldn't really be fair for us to try and play through it as them. They are classed as a dud team, which means that any match they play results in a 3-0 loss for them. So overall, when it comes to leagues, it averages out for each team. In the knockout stages, essentially think of it as a bye to the next round.
Yep.
And speaking of dud teams, our dud team for this preliminary is Cyprus.
Yes. I'll be honest, I don't really know many Cypriot footballers.
That's probably the reason why they're the dud then.
Correct.
More than likely. Next up, we have Albania.
Yeah, the double-headed eagle, one of the many Baltic teams that have kind of surfaced as a decent footballing nation in recent years. Albania probably one of the weaker of those, but hey, look, they're here. They can qualify. Whether they will or not remains to be seen.
Yeah. Next up, it is Armenia, back in the Global Trophy for the first time in quite a while, I believe.
Yep. Let's hope they don't have to play Azerbaijan, because those two countries have issues.
Next up, we have Georgia.
Georgia's an interesting one. They have got some decent young footballers coming through their ranks, if memory serves.
Yep, it could be the case. It could be the case that in like 4 or 5 years, they may not even have to do preliminaries. Who knows?
Who knows?
Next up, we have Finland.
They have got some decent footballers on their books, haven't they? Players like Teemu Pukki, familiar to Norwich City fans, and Glenn Kamara, of course, from Rangers. Obviously, as well, they were at the Euros, weren't they? They were at Euro 2020.
Yeah, exactly. And even more interesting is that in this game, obviously, I believe Jaskalainen would have still been in goal for them and everything at that point as well.
Yep, absolutely. Good old UC.
Yeah. Next up, it is Bosnia Herzegovina.
Yeah, another one of those Baltic teams. They actually have some incredible footballers, don't they? Players like, Miralem Pjanic, Edin Dzeko.
Begovic.
Asmi Begovic, yeah, he's pretty handy between the sticks. I think he's getting on a bit now, though. As well, he wasn't always declared as a Bosnian international. Apparently so this is a bit of nerdiness for you. On FM09, he was declared to play for Canada.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Isn't it the same thing as like Zinedine Zidane's son, who in like one of the Football Managers was Spanish?
Well, I think he can declare for Algeria or anything like that. He's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. He's got the pick of the crop there. He's essentially going to go, okay, how good am I going to be? If he's going to be good, he'll pick like Spain or France. If he's shit, he'll be like, right, Algeria.
Potentially, yeah.
Next up, it is the first of 3 British Isles and Ireland teams in this Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. It's been a long old time since we've seen them at a major tournament. Were they at Euro 2016?
Yes.
With Will Grigg. Was that the Will Grigg year?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Because I can't remember if he's Republic or Northern Irish. I want to say he's Northern.
the Sunderland legend Will Grigg.
Oh dear, didn't go to plan that move, did it?
No. Next up, it is Israel.
Yeah, Israel, I think probably best to steer clear of any political conversation about them.
Yeah, exactly. Slovenia's next.
What are the... Again, an Eastern European team, a decent side as well in terms of footballing ability. Interesting team.
Yeah, I mean, them and Slovakia have sort of like been there or thereabouts when it comes to a lot of tournaments.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
it comes to that. So yeah, very good.
So one of them tends to qualify, don't they, for like at least the Euros?
Yeah, usually. So now we get to something that we have to mention. It's Montenegro that's next. But unfortunately, Montenegro was not classed as a country at the time of this game being released. It was still part of Serbia at the time.
Or Yugoslavia.
Yeah, or Yugoslavia. So, how we do this with the Global Trophy is pretty much... They're still going to be able to enter, obviously. It wouldn't be fair to just negate them entirely. Is that essentially they have a patsy. They have a stand-in to represent them throughout the tournament. And how we do it is, again, wouldn't really be fair if we pick, oh, well, let's just pick Serbia for that. Because for all you know, they could make it through, and then we'd have two Serbias in...
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Qualifiers. So what we do is that we choose the team in the FIFA rankings that is below them in the rank.
Directly.
Yep, and...
Or as close as we can do that for a team that's not being represented already, let's say.
Yeah. So, for example, if the next rank below Montenegro was Slovenia, obviously we would then go one further down than that, until we have a suitable team. And they may have possibly hit the jackpot here. They've got 3-time Asian winners of the Global Trophy Asia's qualifiers, China.
Yeah, not a bad team to have. It also will be quite interesting to see how China get on against a relatively stronger, bracket, really, because with respect to the Asian section, China have won it 3 times, but they've never really progressed that far in the Global Trophy, whereas obviously European teams, lots of different European teams have won it. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and European teams have won it the last 6 years, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Their hybrid name is Monte China. I think that's fine.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yep. Next up, it is North Macedonia.
Formerly known as Macedonia, of course. I think the reason they changed it is because Macedonia is a Greek region. I think that's why.
Yeah. But they are, really when it comes to North Macedonia, at least at the time when we're recording this, they are probably some of the nation, or some of the continent's favourite underdogs.
Of course.
At the moment.
Yeah, they've got some decent players. I mean, obviously Goran Pandev, I think, has just retired, but they've still got, players like Alioski, who used to play for Leeds.
Yeah, so sort of decent top-flight players there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, it is Iceland.
Less said about that, the better. For England, anyway. The demise of Roy Hodgson. I suppose that's the best thing that could have happened to us, really.
What Bleeding Owl knows.
I liked Roy Hodgson. I didn't like him as England manager, but I liked Roy Hodgson in general. I think he's alright.
As a manager, yeah, but probably not on an international nation stage.
He used to manage Inter Milan, didn't he? Once upon a time, he was really good.
Yeah, but he didn't manage Italy.
No, very true.
Yeah. Next up, it is former bronze medalist, you could say, in the Global Trophy, Bulgaria.
Yeah, they formerly finished as high as 3rd back in 2007, I believe it was. If we go back through the history books. A very good side, but not necessarily got the strongest national team these days, hence they've slipped down the order a bit, and if you don't qualify, then it leaves them in a bit of a precarious position where, because they have to pre-qualify, they almost always do, but they then struggle to progress into the finals because they're not quite that good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, essentially, more Yeah. More battles, more matches are required there on that one. Next up, it is a team that used to be very devastating about 60 years ago. Hungary.
Yeah, in fact, Hungary did pretty good a couple of years ago. I want to say it was 2019 or 18. They made the top 4 themselves. But obviously, their low FIFA ranking has kind of left them in this position. Although they did, again, they participated in the Euros, didn't they? They were in that group of death.
Yep, they were in the group of death and nearly went through.
They did, which was incredible to watch.
Yep, against, what was it, France, Germany, Portugal?
Yeah, that was it. And they were beating Germany. They had like 2 shots in the whole game, and they nearly beat Germany. But I think they scored in the last 10 minutes to equalise.
To be fair, when it comes to group stages, Germany, I think in recent years at least, are very well known for cocking it up.
Yes.
Let's remember South Korea at the World Cup, shall we?
That was so good. Heung-min Son was running down the whole length of the pitch. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next up, it's our northern friends and, well, I guess fan favourites of this tournament. They're back in the preliminaries. It's Scotland.
Yeah, they didn't have to pre-qualify last year, did they? Because they made the bracket. They made the actual Global Trophy finals, but yeah.
They actually made it to the European semi-finals. The European Qualifiers semi-finals, beating, at the time, champions Portugal to get there.
Yeah, unbelievable. At the time, they were, I say, the 2-time defending incumbent champions, and then Scotland came along and said, ha, nice.
Yeah. Sadly, that didn't do much for Scotland as they were knocked out in the first round of the Global Trophy finals that year.
They were, yes. I want to say that was had a fairly, not an easy draw, but I want to say it was a kind draw, wasn't it? I want to say it was like Colombia or something.
Yeah, more than likely. And last but not least, the Republic of Ireland.
Yes, the third of the 3 home nations / Irish teams. Republic of Ireland, not been a major trophy for a while, but they are always a fun watch.
See?
Yeah, you see, you can't do it. You've got to select a team.
Sucks, doesn't it?
There you go.
Right. And so we begin the first, essentially, section of the 2022 Global Trophy campaign with Albania Armenia. Wow, what a match to kick off with.
It's a thriller, this is surely.
Never mind, it kind of was.
For the neutrals, maybe. Albania with a great start, a 3-2 win.
Yeah, good start for Albania there. Bosnia Herzegovina versus Bulgaria next.
Interesting one to call, but probably a Bulgaria win.
It is 3-0 Bulgaria.
Good result there for Bulgaria.
Yeah, and Montenegro China going to get their first win on the board with a 3-0 win over Cyprus.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's a start, I suppose. Everyone has to play Cyprus at least once, so I suppose getting it out of the way now it's a good way to start off your season. You know, there's less pressure if you get that automatic 3 points. However, it is always quite nice when you get it late on to give you that little bit of a boost over the line.
Exactly, because on a lot of occasions that we've seen already in the preliminary leagues, sometimes it is a mad dash for that last seventh spot. And with like a couple of games to go, there could be 6 teams fighting for it.
But yeah, it gets close, especially the European section. It gets very close.
Yeah. Next up, it is Finland versus Georgia.
For God's sake.
Not that Georgia.
No, not that Georgia. It's a different side of the world.
Well, who cares? Finland win 1-0.
I suppose you could say that Georgia got finished there, didn't they?
I believe they did. Yes.
They did.
That was awful. Next up, it's Israel versus Iceland.
Iceland win?
Well, the goalkeeper, who's a dentist, isn't having a good time.
Nope, he's not. He's had his teeth pulled there by the Israelis.
Yeah, P45 coming in the mail for one of his part-time jobs, at least.
Yep.
Israel with the win, 1-0. Good start to their campaign.
And next up we have North Macedonia and Northern Ireland.
Yep, Battle of the North. Who's more north? Well, that's not right. Northern Ireland is more north, but it's a 2-2 draw nonetheless.
It is a draw, and probably not a terrible start for either of them, but, you know, they'll probably want more going forward.
Yep, definitely. Next up, it is Slovenia versus Hungary. It's another draw.
Yeah, there's a tie there between Slovenia and Hungary. Hungary will be slightly disappointed by that, I think.
Yeah, I'd say Hungary should have got a win there at least.
And next up is Republic of Ireland and Scotland for the first fixture.
God, can you just imagine being at that game?
It'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
The pitch would be just saturated with beer. And it's ended in a ball draw. Well, not a ball draw, but a draw.
A score draw.
A score draw.
Yeah.
1-1.
Yes. One apiece. Honours even.
Yep, so that's the end. That concludes the first fixture. Now it's time for the other 14. We kick off with Bosnia Herzegovina and Albania. Is that your take on that? Just.
Yes.
Bosnia Herzegovina win.
Good result for Bosnia Herzegovina there.
Next up it is Armenia. They go up against Bulgaria.
I'd probably say a win for Bulgaria again. Good start from Bulgaria, so you'd think. You'd think.
Former third place in the Global Trophy previously. 6-0.
Emphatic win by Bulgaria. Armenia already in trouble. One of the minnows in this qualifying section.
Yep, not looking good for them. China's next against Finland. Both teams kicking off with a win.
Of course, China won their match against Cyprus.
And they carry on with a 2-0 victory over Finland. Finland dropped to 6th at this early stage.
Yep, and Georgia are about to pick up their own bye win against Cyprus.
Yep, it's going to be a lovely 3-0 win for Georgia. Look at that flag.
That's not what the Georgia flag looks like now.
I believe it's the old Georgia flag.
I was going to say, it's showing the age of the game here.
Yep. Hey, you should see Libya's flag.
Or just the green, just green.
Green!
And then there's the Rwanda.
Oh, the big R. No, like, you don't know, like, so if you just pick up a green crayon and draw a horizontal line, even at like 1 year old or whatever, yeah, you've just drawn the Libyan flag. And you are officially an artist and a god.
Interesting.
Anyway, next up. That's true facts, that is. True facts. It's not now because, okay, it's outdated facts. Libya's flag is now
different.
It's a bit more complicated than green.
Yeah, just simply green.
Simply green. It's not that easy being green.
Nope.
Next up, it is Northern Macedonia versus Iceland.
Yep. Both teams. Well, Iceland started off with a loss, and North Macedonia started off with a draw.
Yep. Armenia is below our dud team. That's a good start. Macedonia with the win. 1-0. Up to 4 points for them.
Not a good start from Iceland there. 2 losses out of 2.
Yep. Not great for Iceland there, but they could bounce back. It's early stages.
Yeah, of course.
Northern Ireland versus Israel next.
Good start from Israel with the win over Iceland. Northern Ireland probably need a result here.
They do. 3-0 win for Northern Ireland.
Big result for Northern Ireland there, shooting themselves all the way up to 3rd.
Yep. Scotland, Slovenia next. Scotland currently in 12th after a draw. Slovenia
in 10th.
Yep, in 10th place. 2-0 for Scotland. They're up into 4th.
Good effort there from Scotland, and Slovenia defeated. Republic of Ireland and Hungary next up. Both teams started off with a draw themselves.
Yep, so both teams could do with a win here to put a slight bit of daylight at this early stage. 3-1 for Hungary.
Good result for Hungary there. Again, probably one of the favourites to win this bracket, you have to think.
Yep, and that splits up the British teams, Northern Ireland and Scotland there, with Hungary in the middle.
Lovely.
Tasty. Bulgaria versus Albania next. For fixture 3. And Bulgaria with a 1-0 win over Albania. They had a good start in their first match, but starting to go a bit downhill already.
Yeah, good start from Bulgaria, and again, a good win there. I mean, I'm surprised it was only the one, though.
Yeah, they certainly could have done more with that, but I think Bulgaria will take it. They've scored 10 goals now in 3 games and not let one in yet.
Yep, I suppose that's a good point as well. They haven't conceded.
Yeah, definitely. Bosnia Herzegovina now versus Armenia, who are already starting to fall behind.
Yep, Armenia below our dud team, which is saying quite a lot.
They're still below the dud team. 1-0 win for Bosnia Herzegovina moves them up to third.
It does indeed. China next against Georgia. Georgia with a 1-1 record. China with a 2-0 record.
Yep, going well for China right now, and it still is 2-1.
Good result there for China.
Yep, Finland now going to be getting some much-needed 3 points against Cyprus.
And Cyprus will now move below Armenia, I believe.
Nope.
Then they will by 1 goal.
Will they?
Yeah, I think the goal difference for Armenia was 8. -8.
No. If it's -9, it's... Actually, no, -10, it's lower. Then still Armenia are below the dud. Will the dud finish bottom? Of course they bleeding will.
Yes, because Armenia will get 3 points.
They got to face Armenia at some point.
Yeah, I want to say...
Yes, they do finish bottom, yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Armenia have conceded 10 in 3.
It's not great, is it? An average of just over 3 goals a game conceded.
Yeah, not brilliant. Northern Ireland versus Iceland next. Northern Ireland currently in 5th place. Iceland in 14th.
Not a great start for Iceland. They need a result here, really,
yep,
to kickstart their campaign.
Yet to score a goal as well. They still haven't. Northern Ireland up to 3rd.
Great result for Northern Ireland. Iceland really need to get going soon, otherwise it's going to be a bit of a make-up job afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah, Israel versus Northern Macedonia next.
Good start for the pair of them, really. I mean, Israel with a 1-1, Macedonia with a win and a draw.
It's 2-1 to Israel. They move up to 6th. North Macedonia down into 9th.
Good result there for Israel.
Republic of Ireland needs to start getting wins here. It's them against Slovenia.
Yep.
Nope, Slovenia with the win. Republic of Ireland starting to go fast.
That was a great result for Slovenia there.
Yeah, brilliant win for them. That moves them into good contention at the start here.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is Hungary and Scotland. In around the mid-table at the moment, but a win for either of them will lift them up to 3rd place, potentially.
Yep, both undefeated so far. Hungary get the win, 1-0 over Scotland.
Move themselves up into 4th place.
Yep, Scotland currently in that dud spot in 8th. They do not want to stay there at the end of this league.
Nope, it's almost
again.
A bit... Yeah, exactly. They don't want that.
China, Albania next. China currently in 2nd. Albania starting to fall into 12th. It's a draw between the two sides.
It lifts China to the top of the leaderboard for now, but games in hand for teams behind them.
Yep, Armenia going to be getting their 3-pointer against Cyprus now, which means they will never be below Cyprus, at least
ever again.
At least in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in this league. Our referee W Wig has decided to just call the match off.
Yeah, he lost his hair.
Has he got a brother called, like, John Stirrup?
I don't know.
Oh, no. John Stirrup? John Stirrup, that's him. John Stirrup and Willy Wig.
I was going to say Walter Wig, but...
Walter Wig.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Bosnia Herzegovina versus Finland. 2 teams currently on 6 points each.
Yep, 2 wins and a defeat for the pair of them.
Yep, going quite well for either of the sides. Bosnia Herzegovina get the win, though. Moves them up into 3rd.
Crucial win for them, moving them up into 3rd place. Finland, okay at the moment. You know, will still be there or thereabouts after the fixture is over, but it's a difficult one to keep going, especially when they played fairly easy teams.
Yeah, it's a bit dicey there. Next up, it is Bulgaria, Georgia.
A win for Bulgaria will lift them back to the top of the pile.
Yep, and put 2 points in it, but no! Georgia hold them to a draw, move up into 8th place.
Good result for Georgia, that, I think. I think they'll absolutely take that.
Yeah, definitely, against probably one of the biggest names in this preliminary league. Iceland, Slovenia next.
Iceland are desperate for a win here. Slovenia could probably do with the win as well, but Iceland desperate.
1-1. It's not enough for Iceland. Slovenia up into 8th place now.
They're already 4 points off that magical 8th place, Iceland.
Yep, exactly. Israel, Hungary next. 2 teams currently in the top 7.
Yep. You'd probably favour Hungary for this one, wouldn't you?
You certainly would. And it is a 1-0 win for Hungary. Moves them joint level pegging with Bulgaria and China.
Absolutely good result for Hungary, and I think the final fixture Oh no! The penultimate fixture of the fourth game week, I suppose you could say, is Scotland and North Macedonia.
Yep, Scotland currently in 10th. Could do the win. It's a draw between the two. Scotland move up to 8th. Macedonia up to 9th. They're staying in it.
Yeah, they're hovering in and around, aren't they, at the moment?
Yep. Republic of Ireland fading fast. Need to beat Northern Ireland here. Northern Ireland win. They go joint top as well with the other 3 teams.
Yeah, crunch match this for Republic of Ireland.
2-1 Republic of Ireland.
Didn't even lift them into the kind of picture though, did it? I mean, they're all points wise they're in and around it, but like in terms of the actual league itself, they're in 13th.
Yeah, do you see what we mean when it comes to how close it is? From Republic of Ireland in 13th to Northern Ireland in 5th, there's 3 points in it so far.
It's so tight. It is so tight.
Indeed. Albania now are going to get 3 points against Cyprus, which is going to be good for their campaign.
It will lift them up to 6th place.
Yep, and
Albania.
And inside joke between me and Sam, that means they've already scored more this time round.
Yes. For those that don't know, this is actually our second time recording this.
Yeah, I cocked up the video first time round, it corrupted or something like that, so we have essentially had to redo it. We did that yesterday, but now we're essentially having to redo it, so...
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how different the result's going to be, though, because the way things are going at the moment, there's an air of familiarity, however, it is very different.
Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, exactly.
China, Armenia next.
Wouldn't be if China will take them top.
It is 3-0. Big win there for China.
Yeah, it lifts them. Well, the goal difference as well. It's not looking too bad for China. Look at that.
Yeah, looking good. A +9 so far. Bosnia Herzegovina now versus Georgia.
A win for Bosnia will take them into 2nd place. 1 point off the leaders. Georgia, a win potentially could lift them up to 5th.
1-0 Bosnia Herzegovina. Georgia not doing well. They needed a win there.
Yep, one of the minnows in this competition, but Bosnia looking pretty strong so far.
Yep, Bulgaria, Finland next. Bulgaria currently in 3rd, Finland in 7th place.
Bulgaria, a win will lift them right back to the top of the leaderboard once again.
It is 1-0.
Closer than I thought it was going to be, but a good result for Bulgaria nonetheless.
Exactly. Iceland need to start getting wins now. They've got Hungary.
They're in 15th currently, Iceland.
They've lost 2-1.
It's not looking good for the Icelandics, and Hungary keeping pace with Montenegro and Bulgaria currently.
Yep, indeed. Slovenia, Israel are next up.
You'd probably favour Slovenia here, but again, it's not going to be an easy game. I know Slovenia are below Israel, but Israel are fairly fortunate so far.
It is a 1-0 for Slovenia, up into 5th. Israel moved down to 9th.
Good result for Slovenia.
Republic of Ireland. Can they keep the win going? They've got North Macedonia next.
They beat Northern Ireland in the last game week.
They've won again, 3-0 up into 8th.
That's what they needed, exactly what they needed.
Speaking of Ireland, it's now Northern Ireland versus Scotland in 11th place.
A win for Northern Ireland gives them a big cushion, doesn't it really? A 3-point cushion at this stage is massive.
Yep, a win for Scotland puts them up into a potential, actually no, a definite 5th place. So of course it ends in a draw.
I think that would probably suit Northern Ireland a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. They now have at least a point between them and that horrible 8th place spot, currently being held by the Republic of Ireland.
Yep.
Next up, fixture number 6, it's Albania, Finland next up.
Finland in 10th, Albania doing okay so far in 7th.
It's a win for Finland, up into 5th, Albania down to 9th.
Yeah, dropped a little bit, didn't it, for them?
Yep, it's now a battle of the 2 minnows, Armenia and Georgia, currently in 13th and 14th apiece.
Both above Iceland.
Yep, still above Iceland though. And it's a win for Georgia, they move up to 8th.
Gives them a little bit of a boost, doesn't it? China will take on Bosnia Herzegovina next, a big top-of-the-table clash.
Yep, definitely. And it's a win for China. Bosnia Herzegovina have lost their 2nd match of the campaign.
They have indeed, and Bulgaria about to pick up another nice little win against our dud team, Cyprus.
Yeah, I don't think Bulgaria would really mind when these 3 points turn up. But I think, to be honest, this is probably a decent place for it to turn up.
Yeah, it's it's another nice 3 points. It keeps the pressure on everyone else around them. It keeps their momentum going. And I think I want to say they're 10 points up now, or near 10 points up on that 8th place. Not obviously nowhere near confirming qualification yet, but not far away now.
Yeah, definitely. Usually,
it's 9 points. There you go.
Usually, we say that around the 30-point mark should be enough for you to qualify. So it will be very interesting to see, essentially, who's going to be able to get that spot there. Iceland. Yep. They now have Scotland, who are back in 11th. Iceland down in 15th.
And struggling big time. They need a result here, Iceland, to turn it around.
No, but it's another draw. Scotland can't keep drawing.
Iceland's still below Armenia.
Yeah. Israel, Republic of Ireland next. Republic of Ireland currently in 9th. Israel in 12th.
Yeah, that bright start by Israel's faded quite quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, and the Republic of Ireland have bounced right back.
And up into 5th place. Look at that.
Yeah. Now, that's just how quickly, at least at the start, that your fortunes can change. 3 wins on the trot for Republic of Ireland.
Put them in a nice, pretty 5th place.
Yeah. Next up, it is North Macedonia versus Slovenia. Slovenia currently in 8th place. North Macedonia down in 13th.
Yeah, they started quite well, Macedonia, didn't they?
Well, it's a draw between the two. Slovenia moved Northern Ireland down into 8th just for now. There is the battle with Hungary up next.
Yeah, a win here for Northern Ireland would lift them into 5th place above their Republic neighbours. A win for Hungary keeps the pressure on the top 2.
It's a 2-1 win for Hungary.
Good result for Hungary, and they remain on 16 points. Northern Ireland currently occupying 8th place on their own on 8 points.
Yep, definitely. Lots of missed opportunities, and that's how Republic of Ireland just bounced right back in a couple of matches. So, really good for them so far.
Absolutely. Next up is Georgia and Albania to start off the 7th game week, I suppose you could say.
Yep, and Georgia with another win up to 6th, 2-1.
Good result for Georgia, that.
Yep, speaking of minnows, it's Finland now, currently occupying 7th versus Armenia, who are starting to lose it.
Yep.
2-0 Finland. Finland up to 4th.
Good result for Finland. 4 wins, 3 losses now for them. That's a good effort, I think, from Finland.
Yep, very good effort. Bosnia Herzegovina going to be able to get their 3 points here, which is quite important for them right now. I mean, they're not in a big, essentially, pit battle right now, but also our referee.
Well, the thing is, I reckon I've worked it out. I reckon all the referees are named after the developers of the game.
Bloody anoraks.
No, I like that though, because that's like I think FIFA did the same thing. Like they all like the coaching staff on Ultimate Team.
How do you explain Vinnie Jones?
Maybe their name's not Vinny. You know? Maybe their name's
no. Global Trophy law states Vinnie Jones is a referee. Because it's usually for the dud team battle, and the team instantly gives up when Vinnie Jones has beat the shit out of them. You still there, Sam?
I'm still here, yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a minute there.
Sorry, no. I was concentrating.
Fair enough. Next up, it is Bulgaria versus China. Battle of 2 of the top teams here.
Yep, in fact, 1 and 2 currently.
Yep, number 1 and number 2. China with the win.
And they go top.
Yep, Hungary.
Wow.
Hungary could still keep the pressure on. But first up, we've got Republic of Ireland, who have bounced right back, versus Iceland, who desperately need to bounce back.
A win for Iceland, I mean, even a win for Iceland leaves them 4 points off 8th place.
But it would be a start.
It'd be a start, yeah.
It's a draw between the two. That's not enough.
They do move above Armenia, though.
Yeah. Scotland, Israel now. Scotland in 10th. Israel in 13th.
Yep. Needs a result really for Scotland again, doesn't it?
It's another draw. 5 now for Scotland.
Yeah. Not really scoring or conceding goals, are they, Scotland?
Yep. It's not going well. They needed to convert some of those draws into wins. It is Hungary versus North Macedonia next. Hungary currently in 3rd. North Macedonia in 13th.
A win for Hungary will lift them above Bulgaria and keep them chasing after China, who currently lead the way.
Yep, and they have 2-1 win.
Good result there for Hungary.
Yep, next up it's Northern Ireland versus Slovenia.
Bit of a mid-table clash, this one.
Very important one, though, for either side. And it's a Slovenia win.
Northern Ireland slipped down to 10th, Slovenia up to 6th.
Yep, now we move on to fixture 8 with Iceland, Albania.
Getting to that halfway stage now. Iceland desperate for a win here.
They do get it, 2-0.
Their first win.
Yep, they move above Macedonia.
Yep, and 1 point behind the team that just beat is Albania and, of course, Israel as well.
Yep, they're starting to slowly climb back. Israel now have got Armenia.
A win for Israel lifts them up to probably 9th, although if they win 9-0, they can go up to 8th.
It's a 1-1 draw between the two.
A good point, that, for Armenia.
Yeah, good play for Armenia. Not good for Israel, though.
Macedonia, they also need to get their campaign off and underway now. They really need to start stepping on it. Bosnia Herzegovina looking okay. Up in 4th currently.
Ooh, big win for Macedonia there.
They've leapt right up to 9th.
Yeah, big. Right over Israel, Northern Ireland, Scotland.
Iceland.
Yep, speaking of Northern Ireland, they've got Bulgaria next.
Can be shown that Bulgaria can be beaten, because obviously this just happened.
They've been beaten again!
What a result for Northern Ireland that is!
Yep, right up in 8th place now.
Slovenia China next up. Slovenia in 6th, China the leaders currently.
They've won 4-1. Big win there for China.
Great result there. Great result.
Yeah, but Hungary about to get their 3 points as well to keep the pressure on China right now at the top.
Yep, I'm sure Hungary, again, much like Bulgaria, won't mind when they get these points, it's just that they get them.
Okay, who's D. Doofus then?
It's just an unlucky name, isn't it?
He must have very fond memories of his school days. Oh God, the Christian, I'm next. Chuff fart. Right. Moving onwards to... What? Oh. No idea. They always have like a... You know, like man of the match sort of thing. And it was like Tsios or whatever.
Yeah. It's a separate name, isn't it?
Nah, fair enough. Yeah. Next up, it is Scotland, currently in 11th place, versus Finland in 5th.
A win for Finland could lift them up into 4th place here.
Yep, win for Scotland is, well, needed at the moment. It is a win for Scotland. Finally, they've got another win.
Yeah, they've only lost the once all campaign so far, but they're in 8th place now.
Yep, Georgia now versus the Republic of Ireland.
A Georgia win lifts them up to 5th.
It's a draw between the two. I'd say Georgia would take that.
Absolutely. Yeah, look at that. Look at that now. 5th to 10th is 1 point.
Yep, it's that close at the moment. We move into fixture 9 now. Albania, Israel.
Probably the favourites for this one are probably Israel.
Albania get the win.
Huge win for Albania. It gives them a fighting chance, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean they're only 2 points off now, so yeah, certainly in with a chance. Iceland,
Armenia.
Iceland, they have got a win. They can't get another one. A win for Armenia.
Unbelievable! They lift themselves above Iceland.
Yep. Both still within in with a chance, but it's starting to look bleak for Iceland. It's been looking bleak most of the preliminary league, to be honest.
That's so unfortunate for Iceland, but they're 15th. I'm staggered.
Yeah, I was expecting for Iceland to be one of the 8 to go through.
Me too.
Bosnia Herzegovina now versus Northern Ireland, currently in 10th. Bosnia Herzegovina in 4th, doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think they've lost a couple on the bounce though, Bosnia, so they need to be careful here.
It's a win for Northern Ireland. Big win, up to 5th.
A huge result and lifts them right behind Bosnia Herzegovina as well.
Yep, North Macedonia now versus Bulgaria.
A win for Bulgaria keeps the pressure on the two at the top.
It is a win for Bulgaria, 1-0.
Keeps them in contention. Macedonia a little bit off the pace now.
Yep, now it's a battle of the top two. It's China versus Hungary.
Will either of their unbeaten runs come to an end?
Yes, it will, and it's China's Hungary get the win.
good result for Hungary. It moves them on to 25 points, and not guaranteed to go through currently, but close enough, I think.
Yeah, 13
I think a win or two now. Yeah, a win or two now, and it puts them safely through, doesn't it?
Yeah, speaking of a great time to get your 3 points, Slovenia getting their 3 points against Cyprus.
Yep. It's no bad time to get 3 points.
Yep, I think especially when there's such a essentially crunch match with so many teams trying to get those top 7 spots, I think getting them then is very important.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're like kind of in that awkward zone of like 10th to 7th, like you need that's when you need those 3 points.
Yep, and that moves Slovenia up into 4th.
Great result for them.
Yep, next up it is Finland, Republic of Ireland.
Both on 12 points in 7th and 8th.
Big crunch match there. Win for Republic of Ireland over Finland.
Moves on to 15 points and up into 4th place themselves. After that slow start for Ireland, they've really kept rising up the table.
Yep, Scotland need to get this now. They've had a few mess-ups from teams above them. Scotland could very much capitalise, but they've got to take on Georgia.
A win for Georgia, again, it keeps them right in it, doesn't it?
It's a 1-0 win for Scotland. Scotland up into 8th.
8th place for Scotland is very good for them.
Yep, on goal difference with Northern Ireland, also Bosnia Herzegovina, Slovenia and Republic of Ireland only a point above them.
It's so close. It is so close.
Yep, and we've only got 6 fixtures to go. Albania, North Macedonia next. Both still in with a chance.
A win for either of them would be a great result, but I think a draw wouldn't really help either of them.
It's North Macedonia with the win. 3-0 up into 10th place with 12.
Huge result there, and now it's Northern Ireland against Armenia.
Yep, who just recently won, but Northern Ireland stops that immediately and move up into 4th.
Great result for Northern Ireland there.
Yep. Iceland.
Looking desperate. This is desperation now for Iceland.
They pulled it off!
They haven't lifted themselves high enough to be visible, but they're into 13th place, which I think is the highest they've been.
I think so, yeah. Maybe since the start when it was on alphabetical order. That's close they got. That's like, you know, AFC Bournemouth when they were in the Premier League. It's like, can you just stop the league before the first match starts?
Yep, stop the count.
Yeah. Next up, it's Israel, currently in 14th, versus Bulgaria in 3rd.
Win for Bulgaria will lift them just behind China again, unless they get a big win.
Which they do. 3-0 to Bulgaria.
Next up will be Montenegro, who lost their first match against Hungary, against Scotland.
They need at least a point out of this, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Well, they've just got the whole 3!
They do, and that's put them into 4th place themselves, level on points with Northern Ireland.
Yep, Republic of Ireland going to get their 3 points now. They're in the sort of the crunch time area, and they're, well, getting those 3 points at this sort of mid to late stage of the tournament. Very much needed. That puts them up into 4th themselves. A very, very good time to get that, I'd say, for Republic of Ireland.
Absolutely. I think, you know, the fact that they've now gone from what was essentially last into a position where they're now 4th and not comfortable, let's not kid ourselves, but like it's looking okay.
Yeah, next up it is Finland, currently in 9th place versus Slovenia in 7th. Big match here for Finland.
A win for Finland will leapfrog them above Slovenia.
It is a Slovenia win. Big win there.
And look at that, Bosnia down into 8th now.
Yep, not looking good for them. Hungary now have Georgia. Hungary looking to try and keep top spot and even increase their points by 6 there.
Yeah, a bit of a gap, wouldn't it?
Yep, open up a gap there. It's 2-1. Not as big as what was expected from Hungary, but a great performance nonetheless.
It does put them within a win of qualification, though.
Yep, definitely. Next up, for fixture 11, Northern Ireland versus Albania.
Northern Ireland need to keep that momentum going, don't they, really?
Yep, they just need to try and stay above Bosnia Herzegovina. Albania get the win over Northern Ireland. Big mistake there for Northern Ireland.
It was an opportunity for Northern Ireland, and they've really thrown it down the toilet, haven't they? And now it's going to allow the chasing pack to kind of close up again.
Yeah, Albania have already done that. Can Macedonia do it next against Armenia?
Of course, Armenia did get a shock win recently, didn't they?
Yep, but it is a win for North Macedonia, which puts them up into 8th place.
It does. Israel now against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina have slipped down the order a little bit. They need to stop the rot.
They can't. They can't. It's 2-1 to Israel.
Is that 5 on the bounce again for Bosnia and Herzegovina?
It's not looking good. They are the Belarus.
They really are.
Yeah. Bulgaria now versus Iceland.
Iceland need to keep the momentum going, but it's a top team that they're playing.
Draw. Is that enough? I don't think it is.
Down in 14th place. They're 5 points off with 4 games to go. It's a bit of an ask, isn't it, for Iceland?
They're 5 points off the dud spot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're 7 points off 7th.
Yeah, it's possible, but
it's asking a lot. It's asking a lot, isn't it?
It is a big ask. China now, Montenegro China versus the Republic of Ireland.
Yep. Result wouldn't really change much for Republic of Ireland, apart from, a bit closer to safety. China can leapfrog Bulgaria.
It is a win for Montenegro China, up into second again.
Absolutely, and Scotland are going to pick up those juicy 3 points.
Very big for Scotland there, because that moves them up into 4th.
It does. It gives them a little bit of breathing space.
Yeah, and that allows them to leapfrog Republic of Ireland as well, which I'm sure they'll be very happy about.
Of course.
Well, just the fact they can leapfrog Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland at the same time. Just think of that.
I mean, you love that, don't you? You'd love to see it.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah.
It's terrible, I know. It's bad. Hungary now. Top spot so far. They've got Finland.
Favourites surely for Hungary, but you never know.
It is 2-0 Hungary, still undefeated so far.
And that automatically grants them qualification, so well done, Hungary.
They're not actually there yet, but they're close.
Are they not? With 4 to go? With 4 to go?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are through. Never mind. Ignore me. Georgia. They've got Slovenia. Slovenia currently sitting pretty good in 6th. And Georgia down in 12th.
They need a result, don't they, Georgia, to keep the pace with that leading pack.
It hasn't happened. Slovenia with a 3-1 win up into 4th place.
Great result for Slovenia.
Yep, you see Scotland, Republic of Ireland, and Northern Ireland all up there in good positions so far, but they do need to keep the wins going.
It can change very, very quickly, as we've seen in the past.
Yep, Albania, who are in contention at the moment, I'd say, versus Slovenia now. Double fixture for Slovenia.
A win for Slovenia will really give them a good chance. They'll move up to 3rd place.
Yep, into Bulgaria's area, and they've done it!
Great result for Slovenia.
Yep, Armenia versus Hungary next.
Well, of course, Hungary have already qualified. Armenia haven't.
They probably won't, to be honest, after that performance. Nope, they're out.
Oh dear. Never mind.
Armenia.
Well, they can become a dirt tank, can't they? But that's it.
Yeah, Armenia essentially eliminated. Bosnia Herzegovina now versus Scotland.
A win for Bosnia is almost required at this point, isn't it? They've lost 5 on the bounce. Scotland, a win for them lifts them further, lifts them further out of danger.
6 on the bounce for Bosnia Herzegovina. It's not looking good for them, but Scotland is looking good for them now. They are tied with Bulgaria for the time being.
Republic of Ireland can lift themselves into that kind of contention if they can beat Bulgaria. Who've had a few slip-ups, haven't they?
Yep, they have. And they've just had another one!
Wow, look at that.
Republic of Ireland up into 6th, and Bulgaria tied with Scotland now.
Yeah, and below Slovenia.
Yep, Iceland. They're still in it for now, but they need to beat Montenegro China, and that is a big ask.
This is a must-win game for Iceland now. There's no more excuses.
They've done it! They're up into 10th!
Wow, look at that.
Could it be last-minute glory for Iceland, possibly?
Israel are about to pick up their 3 points against Cyprus. I don't know how much that's going to do for them, but it'll do something.
It is still required for Israel. Israel are, I believe, still in it. I think only Armenia have been knocked out at the moment. So, Israel still in with a shout.
Never know.
But Iceland, if they can pull this off, it will be probably...
It'd be the greatest escape, wouldn't it?
Probably one of the biggest comebacks we've seen in Global Trophy preliminary leagues, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
But they're in with a shout. They're 4 off Northern Ireland. It is a big ask, but it is possible.
Absolutely. Of course, Northern Ireland does have a game in hand. So do Macedonia, and if they win, it will leapfrog them above Northern Ireland. Finland, not out of it, but they're not really in it at the moment, are they?
Yep, exactly. It is a draw between the two. That's good for everyone apart from Macedonia.
Yep, and now it's Georgia and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland win here. It gives them a 4-point cushion over Bosnia Herzegovina.
Yeah, that's a very big cushion there if Northern Ireland can get the win, which they do. 3-1. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, but Georgia technically still in it, but I think it's mathematically impossible for them.
Yeah, they require a goal swing, don't they?
Yeah.
Iceland as well. Like they can catch Northern Ireland and finish 7th. They can even catch Republic of Ireland, but it's just a bit of an ask, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably down to North Macedonia and maybe Bosnia Herzegovina at this point.
Maybe Israel as well, with an outside chance.
Yeah, just possibly. Albania versus Hungary next. Hungary.
Bit of a nothing game, really, isn't it?
Yeah, if they win this, they win the preliminary league. 8-0.
Dominant display by Hungary.
Yeah, biggest win of the global trophy so far. 8-0 win there for Hungary, who are the preliminary league champions of Europe.
There you go. Well done to Hungary. Congratulations, and I'm sure we'll be looking forward to them with a lot of anticipation going forward.
Yeah, we'll be seeing them next month for the European Qualifiers. Next up, it is Slovenia, Armenia.
Slovenia can also assure themselves qualification here if they win.
4-0, big win for Slovenia there.
And they have qualified as well, so we'll see Slovenia next month.
Yep, Slovenia have qualified. Bosnia-Herzegovina now versus the Republic of Ireland.
A win here for Bosnia and lifts them right back into contention, and anything other than that, and it's looking a bit dodgy for them, isn't it?
Yep, definitely. 3-1 Republic of Ireland.
And a point for Northern Ireland will eliminate Bosnia-Herzegovina here, won't it?
Yeah, Scotland, Bulgaria next.
A win for either of them guarantees qualification, although, to be fair, a point for either of them, I think, will also do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Bulgaria win! 2-0, Scotland staying 6th for the time being.
Yeah, they're not out of it yet, but it was a good result for Bulgaria. I think that has also guaranteed them qualification as well, which is good news for the Bulgarians.
Yeah, pretty much. Israel versus Montenegro next.
An Israel win gets a bit spicy then, doesn't it?
Certainly does, especially with 8th place there. But Montenegro get the win.
Crucial win, and Iceland get the 3 points, which will lift them into 8th place.
Into 8th. 4 behind, which with
2 to go.
It is possible, especially when there's only 1 position there. So, and they will be. Cyprus will be ahead of the pack. Sorry, Iceland will be ahead of the pack. So, it really will depend on how the last 2 matches go. Do they have Bulgaria and Montenegro? Do they have Armenia and Georgia or something? Or Albania? So it really does matter about what those last 2 sort of matches are, but that's a big win there for Iceland.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is. Northern Ireland now currently in 7th. They've got Finland.
A win for Northern Ireland, and they all but guarantee qualification.
No,
it's in their hands.
A win for Northern Ireland and everyone's out.
That's it, yeah.
But essentially they battle for the dud spot. If Northern Ireland beat Finland here. Well, we've got our top 7.
They've done it. Look at that.
They've done it. That is now unassailable for Iceland. Macedonia still have a chance.
Yeah, Macedonia need to beat Georgia and win all their games and hope that Northern Ireland don't score anymore.
Northern Ireland or Scotland start messing up. It's a draw. It's still enough. Barely. But Scotland, a point for either of them and they're through.
Unbelievable. The home nation's all going to go through here.
Yeah, but that means we say goodbye to Iceland, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Israel, Finland, Albania, Georgia, and Armenia. But they could be a dud. But that's the best they got. Scotland, a draw, puts them through. And they go and get the 3 points. Scotland have qualified.
Thank God for that.
Republic of Ireland are already through, but they could obviously get some more points if required against Armenia. 5-0 Republic of Ireland up to 3rd.
up to third place, and good goal difference as well for them.
Yep, Slovenia currently in fourth, take on Bosnia Herzegovina, who are out.
Slovenia can go up to second here.
Yeah, with a big win, but it's a draw, so that gives Montenegro China some daylight.
Bulgaria, Hungary, a bit of a kick clash in terms of their flags.
Yep, definitely. And it's another draw.
So Hungary could go unbeaten. They're one game away from going unbeaten.
Yep, North Macedonia need to win this.
If they win it, there is an outside chance they can catch Northern Ireland.
Yeah, small chance, but they need to beat Montenegro China. They have!
It's 3 goals, so...
Oh, Northern Ireland have got Cyprus, which means it's over.
And Macedonia are guaranteed the dud spot.
That is a shame for North Macedonia there.
Oh, I mean, to be fair play to Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland able to go through. Big win there for Northern Ireland. And again, that's what
we said at the right time.
Yeah, and that is, I don't think there's probably a better time, to be honest, to get the dud. And Northern Ireland have gotten the dud. They've gotten the 3 points, and they've gotten their qualification for the 2022 Global Trophy European Preliminaries. Or the qualifiers, sorry. Iceland, Finland.
Iceland can catch Macedonia to become the dud team.
Yeah, so now it's a battle of who will be the dud. Iceland do get the win, so it's between Iceland and Macedonia for the dud, and Israel have an outside chance as well.
They do. They need to beat Georgia, though.
It's a draw, they're out. So Republic of Ireland and Albania next.
They can go second here, Republic of Ireland.
Yep, they can. And they will. 1-0 win.
Scotland can join them up in third place if they beat Armenia.
Yep, and they'd probably want to stay as close to the top as possible there. 3-0 win there for Scotland.
Great result there.
Yep.
Hungary will play Bosnia Herzegovina to go unbeaten.
And they will. Another 8-0.
Unbelievable. What a strong run by Hungary.
Yep. Bulgaria, Slovenia, both teams right next to each other pretty much.
Bulgaria have really faded, haven't they? Down in 6th place, but a result
Never mind.
Yeah, there you go. 2nd place.
Never mind.
Much better.
That's better. Montenegro China versus Northern Ireland. Win for Montenegro China puts them back in the second.
A win for Northern Ireland, and they will go at level 4th.
Yep, exactly. It is a win for Northern Ireland.
Wow.
Montenegro China finish in 6th.
Slovenia 7th after looking strong for such a long time.
Macedonia got Cyprus last. So they would have got probably the goal difference, but Northern Ireland got Cyprus first.
And of course, to be fair, they beat China as well, which is, did in for them in the end. But yeah. There you go, Iceland. That slow start really has cost them.
Yep, it's cost them a shot at the European Qualifiers for Global Trophy. It's cost them completely.
And everyone's wondering, so what happened in the original run? Well, Iceland qualified.
Yeah, they did.
Last time.
Bosnia Herzegovina still had a very crap run.
They did, yeah, so they did exactly the same thing, so Science.
Israel, Finland next, which is a 1-0 win for Israel.
And Iceland versus Georgia for the final game.
And Iceland win 3-1. So, essentially, the only difference from the one we previously did and this one is that Northern Ireland and Iceland swap.
Yep, basically. And I wonder if... Was Macedonia still the dud team? I want to say it was.
Oh no, Slovenia that was the dud.
And Macedonia finished 7th.
Yeah. No, they finished 6th actually, so yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting. Anyway, to run down, obviously not the dud team, because we know it's minus 45 goal difference, no points, 16th place Cyprus. In 15th place, with 7, it's Armenia.
They did get another win, other than just Cyprus, so fair enough, but other than that, pretty abysmal.
Yep. 14th place with 13, Albania.
4 wins, 1 draw, and 10 defeats, and yeah, that's pretty much it, really, for Albania.
Yep, 13th place with 13 is Finland.
Better goal difference, doing good there for Finland. Albania, of course, I think took a few beatings, didn't they?
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, Finland, they did okay, but they needed to score more, definitely.
Yeah, good defensively, not good enough going forward.
Yep, 12th place with 13. I'd say they can hold their heads up high here, to be honest. Georgia.
One of the minnows, and 3 wins and 4 draws isn't too bad, to be honest with you.
They were, for a small, fleeting moment, in with a shout.
But ultimately, the quality of the bracket paid off, didn't it?
Yep, did them in the end. Next up, it's Bosnia Herzegovina in 11th with 16.
Yeah, again, they started strongly and faded very dramatically. I think they need to work on that in future years.
Yep, I think they certainly need to. They are our Belarus.
They are.
Next up, 10th with 18 is Israel.
Not a bad performance, but again, they started quite slowly, didn't they? And they didn't really kick on.
Yeah, they never sort of went into that higher gear completely. But still an okay performance, but they have missed out by 10 points, essentially, so not brilliant.
Yep.
Next up with 22, in 9th place is poor, long-suffering Iceland.
That awful start. I think they lost 5 out of their opening 7 games or something like that. So they really were, like, a second half of the bracket. They came strong, but they left it too late.
Yeah, just too little too late for Iceland there. And that's cost them a shot at the European Qualifiers.
It is, because they have qualified for the trophy finals in recent years. They beat England, of course. I think it was 2017.
Yeah, they have, but on this occasion, they're not going to be in it.
No bueno.
Next up, 23rd, and 23 points, and in 8th place, our dud team for the European Qualifiers, it's North Macedonia.
Yeah, again, started okay. I think they came strong towards the end again, especially with getting Cyprus, but they just left it too late and didn't have enough to keep up with the stronger teams in this division.
Yeah, and then we get to a big jump between 2nd and 7th, 2 points in it.
So tight.
Yeah. 7th place with 28, Slovenia.
They started slow as well, but they ramped right up through the league, and they were second at one point with I think 2 games to go, but sadly in the end 7th place. But you know what? They qualified. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters for them. Next up, 28 points as well, 6th place, Montenegro China.
Faded again towards the end, didn't they?
Yeah, they did good at the start, but then they just faded so much. And you can see the difference between Hungary's points and Montenegro China's points, how far they faded. Because at one point, Montenegro China was on level pegging points.
Yeah, they definitely fell off. But, again, they qualified. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, definitely. 5th place with 29, Northern Ireland.
Great effort. 29 points.
Yep.
9 wins.
Yep, a brilliant effort for Northern Ireland there, who, out of those 3 nations, including the 2 above them, they were probably the weakest of the 3, but they've done really well here to make it through.
Yeah, they were 1 point off Republic of Ireland and then level on points with Scotland, who of course have beaten Portugal in the past. So.
Yep, exactly. Next up, 29 points, 4th place, the lowest goals conceded in the league, Scotland.
Yeah, very good defensively, should leave them in good stead for the main competition, but maybe not enough going forward for Scotland. Yeah,
it was a bit shaky for a bit with multiple draws, but they essentially came back with win after win after win after win, and it has got them this 4th place.
Yep.
Next up, with 30 points, 3rd place, the Republic of Ireland.
Should actually just clarify, in the other version of this that we did yesterday, Republic of Ireland actually won.
Yeah, they actually finished top, and look how much point difference there is between them and Hungary. That's how different and randomised it can be sometimes.
I mean, to be fair, I think Hungary's issue was they had so many draws, wasn't it? They went on and defeated Hungary, but they only finished 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. With so many draws. But next up, 2nd place with 30 points, Bulgaria.
Yep, Bulgaria did start to fade towards the end, but a couple of good results to finish off, and the goal difference really paid off for Bulgaria. 2nd place for them. I'm sure they won't complain.
Exactly. 2nd highest goal difference out of the teams in the league, but 1st place with 40,
by a long way.
With 41. They dropped 4 points all campaign. It's Hungary.
Yeah, 2 8-0 wins in there as well.
Yeah,
very impressive.
Setting the benchmark for big global trophy victories, but more than likely, the Asian or African preliminary leagues will absolutely swamp, because they usually do.
I don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah, certainly, but the teams qualifying to join the 24 teams already in the preliminaries or the qualifiers for Europe are Hungary, Bulgaria, Republic of Ireland, Scotland, Northern Ireland, China, Slovenia, and our dud team, North Macedonia.
very exciting. I'm excited to get that going. But of course, next week we'll be jetting off to Asia for the Asia Preliminary League.
Yeah, we will have teams like Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Tahiti, Maldives, Afghanistan,
powerhouse teams,
Hong Kong, Kuwait, the Solomon Islands, and the favourite to win the preliminary league for this one, the Philippines.
Interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
But that is all next week. Same time, same channel. Different week, obviously. I'm not going to upload 2 in the same bloody day, you know. I'm not. But anyway, that is it from the preliminary leagues of Europe for the 2022 Global Trophy campaign. I'm Masterath.
I've been Sven-Göran 64.
And we'll see you next week for the Asian preliminaries. See you then.
Bye!